Hey guys, Jordan Lucas here. Today I'm going to be showing you 10 of my favourite techniques from Jiu Jitsu. Let's get into it. The armbar technique's good for when somebody's in your close guard and when you want to throw up a quick submission to finish a fight. Alright guys, this is the position we're in for the armbar submission technique. So first of all, what I don't want is I don't want my opponent to posture up and land punches on me. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to push him into my body with my legs. The next step is I'm going to get one of my hands on his head and one on the inside of his arm just to hold him there. So what's happening now is he can't break back up and get his head up. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to trap the arm that I'm going to submit. So I'm going to come across, grab the elbow, pull it across my body. The next thing I'm going to do with my leg, my foot, I'm going to put it in his hip and use that to pivot off to the side. From here, I've got my breakdown on his back, and what I'm going to do now is I'm going to push his head away and throw my leg over to finish the armbar. From here, what I want is his thumb pointing up, and I want to pull my hips up and finish that submission. Now here's what the submission should look like in fast time. Triangle choke technique's good for when somebody's in your close guard and when they're loading up big punches. So this is the position we're in for the triangle choke. What's going to happen is I'm going to have wrist control. Now my opponent is going to let go of his right hand and he's going to wing for a big right hand punch. What I don't want is I don't want it to hit me. So instead, what I'm going to do is I'm going to let go of my left leg and try to get it over his shoulder. Now I'm going to lock my legs together like so. First thing I want to do is I want to push my hips up, get that arm across, break him down, hold on to my shin. I don't want to hold on to my foot because that's a weak point. I want to hold on to something solid like my shin. So I pull that down, I place my foot on his hip on the right hand side, pivot off to the side and lock up the triangle submission like that. To make it tighter as well guys, you can also sort of pivot off to the side, underhook that leg, and that'll be a lot tighter. Now this is what it should look like in real time, guys. The scissor sweep technique's good for when you're on your back in your close guard and when you want to reverse the position and get on top. Alright guys, so this is the position we're in for the scissor sweep technique. The first thing I want to do is I want to keep him broken down. Next thing, I'm going to get out onto my hips and build a frame. So my knees across his chest and my other legs on the bottom of his knee. To finish this sweep, all I'm going to do is I'm going to kick his leg out and then push into his chest with my frame. So kick, push, end up in full mount. From here, you can punch or you can just work on other jiu-jitsu techniques. Now this is what it should look like in real time. The scissor sweep to triangle choke is good for when you want to mix it up a bit and confuse your opponents and trick them into a submission. Alright guys, so this is the position we're in for the scissor sweep to triangle technique. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hip escape out to the side and I'm going to build that scissor sweep frame again. What I'm going to do now to finish off the triangle, instead of building the frame on his chest, I'm going to bring the leg over to trap the arm. So to get the submission now, all I'm going to do is I'm going to get my leg over the neck, foot in the hip, hold on to my shin, arm across, and finish the triangle. This is what it should look like when I do it fast. The rear naked choke's one of the most common submissions in MMA today. Let's get into it. So the first thing I'm going to do to flatten him out is I'm going to get one underhook. So from here, I hook that one arm, and now I just want to push my hips to the ground, just like that. Next thing I'm going to do to finish the choke is I'm going to use my right hand to sneak under the neck for that chin control. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to let go of that hook on my arm, cross it over, and get my hand behind his back, and then squeeze and wait for him to tap. Also what I can do from here is if I'm struggling to get that arm across, I can switch to a palm-to-palm choke just like this. At the same time as I'm choking, I'm pushing my hips in at all times. This is how it should look when you do it properly. The calf crush is good for when you feel like you're slipping off your opponent's back and when you want to catch him with a tricky little submission to get him off guard. Alright guys, now we're moving into a calf crush from back control. So the whole point of this technique is if I have my one hook in on this leg and I'm struggling to get my other leg in, some other hook, instead of trying for ages to get that hook in, I'm just going to throw in a tricky submission that I like. So from here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my arm across his back and I'm going to fall back. As I fall back, I'll hook my leg through his leg, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab his foot with both my hands and I'm just going to roll back over my left shoulder. So I'll roll back over my left shoulder. Right now, I'm just going to get my legs into a triangle position, and all I do now is I pull down on his foot. And that should tap pretty quick. Alright guys, this is what it should look like in real time. This closed guard pass is good for when you're stuck in someone's closed guard and want to advance positions. First thing I'm going to do to stop myself from getting broken down is I'm going to get my hands into his armpits. From here, he shouldn't be able to move to reach my head. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to pop up to both my feet. From here, make sure you keep your balance also, you don't want to get swept. So next thing I'm going to do, both hands onto one knee, and I'm going to push down the knee that I'm passing with. To stop this leg from getting back to closed guard or half guard, I'm going to get my 2 points to the ground, my knee and my foot. From here, he shouldn't be able to move his leg. Next thing I'm going to do to pass is I'm going to drop my elbow to the floor and my hip to the mat. So elbow to the floor, hip to the mat, and when I feel like it's a good time to pass, I get this leg back and switch to my side control breakdown. This is what it should look like in real time. The Darce Choke submission is mainly used for when you're in side control and when you want to counter your opponent's underhook. Alright guys, so this is the position we're going to be in for the Darce Choke, just side control. So what's going to happen to finish this technique, I'm going to counter his underhook. So what's going to happen is I've got my breakdown, Tape wants to get up, he gets his underhook. From here, with my hand, all I'm going to do is I'm going to overhook his arm, I'm going to step back, and I'm going to try to get this arm locked in under his neck. From here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get it into the crease of my elbow joint. So like this, lock my hands down, and all I'm going to do is just sprawl out and finish the submission. So this is what it should look like when done properly. The open guard pass is good for when you want a simple but effective way to pass somebody's guard. Alright guys, this is the position we're in for the open guard pass. This one's a very simple and effective move, probably one of the easiest. So what's going to happen now is I'm going to have both hands on his feet, just like this. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to shoot my hips forward, keeping his feet there. I'll shoot my bum back, and now I'll switch hands, step out to the side. From here, I can either go into a knee ride, or under the 1FC rules, I can go into a socket kick to the head. So here's what it should look like in fast form. A knee ride into armbar submission is good for when you're in the knee ride position and you want your opponent to open himself up for that submission finish. Alright guys, so this is the position we're going to be in for the knee ride to armbar. So first of all, to get to the knee ride, I have to pass his open guard. So what I do is I push my hips forward, hold onto his feet, switch hands, and come around to the knee ride position. From the knee ride position, I should have one leg based out for balance and my other knee right into his solar plex. From here, he doesn't want to stay there, turning, so he wants to get my knee off. When he does that, he leaves a gap open in between his arms. I underhook that, pull his arm up, place my hand down for balance, place my hand with my leg, and then spin to finish off the armbar. So this is what it should look like in real time, guys. Thanks for watching, guys. Make sure to check out our other videos And to score 5% off your next bulk powders purchase, type in the code Showtime at the checkout. To stay updated, like us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram, and subscribe to our YouTube channel.